Hey everyone! Welcome to the podcast today. Thanks so much for joining me right now. Today we're talking about some really sad but important news from the science world. Professor Yang Zhenning, one of the greatest physicists ever, passed away on October 18, 2025. He was 103 years old and lived an absolutely incredible and inspiring life. Let's remember this amazing man and everything he did for science and humanity. So Professor Yang Chen-Ning died yesterday in Beijing at the amazing age of 103. He was a Nobel Prize winner in physics back in 1957 with his partner. That was almost 70 years ago, which is just absolutely mind-blowing to think about now. He's considered one of the greatest physicists of the entire 20th century by everyone. People put him right up there with Albert Einstein in terms of importance. That's how brilliant and groundbreaking his work was for physics and science worldwide. Yang was born on October 1, 1922 in Hefei, China, over 100 years ago. Can you imagine all the history he lived through in his lifetime? World wars, revolutions, the space age, computers, smartphones, he saw it all happen. His father was a math professor, so he grew up around education and learning. As a kid, he spent 8 years living at Tsinghua University campus in Beijing. That environment shaped his love for science and mathematics from a very young age. When Yang was just a teenager, he told his parents something really bold. He said, "One day I want to win the Nobel Prize with complete confidence." Most kids dream of being athletes or actors, but he wanted science's highest honor. And guess what? He actually did it! He made his childhood dream come true in life. That's so inspiring for anyone with big dreams, no matter how impossible they seem. If you work hard enough, you can achieve what you dream about. In 1957, Yang won the Nobel Prize in Physics with Tsung-Dao Lee when he was just 35 years old. That's super young to win such a prestigious award in science, honestly speaking. They became the very first Chinese Nobel laureates ever in any field whatsoever. They won for discovering something called Parity non-conservation in weak interactions of particles. I know that sounds really technical and complicated, so let me simplify it. Basically, they showed that tiny particles don't always act the same when mirrored. Yang also created something called the Yang-Mills theory with Robert Mills in physics. This theory is considered one of the most important physics discoveries of the 1900s. It explains how the fundamental forces of nature work at the tiniest levels. The Yang-Mills theory became the foundation for modern particle physics we use today. Scientists say it's as important as Einstein's theory of relativity for understanding the universe. Every physics student in the world learns about Yang-Mills theory in their classes. In the 1940s, Yang moved to America to study and do his research. He spent many decades living and working at American universities, teaching and researching there. He even became a U.S. citizen during his time in America for many years. But in 2015, something interesting happened that surprised a lot of people everywhere. Yang gave up his American citizenship and became a Chinese citizen again at age 93. He wanted to return home and help China's science development grow stronger. After returning to China, Yang taught at Tsinghua University for over 20 years. He mentored young Chinese scientists and helped build China's physics research program significantly. His presence attracted other top Chinese scientists to come back home from abroad. He once said his biggest contribution was changing Chinese people's feelings of inferiority about themselves. He wanted Chinese people to know they could compete with anyone in science. His Nobel Prize proved that Chinese scientists were world-class and incredibly talented too. Yang lived in both China and America and understood both cultures really well. In his Nobel speech, he called himself a product of both cultures. He experienced the harmony and conflicts between East and West throughout his entire life. He used his position to help improve relations between China and America diplomatically. In 1979, he helped welcome Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping to Washington, D.C. officially. He believed cooperation between the two countries benefited everyone in both nations equally. Yang was a member of over 10 different academies of sciences worldwide throughout his career. He received honorary doctoral degrees from more than 20 universities around the entire globe. Every major scientific institution in the world recognized his incredible genius and contributions. Besides the Nobel Prize, he won tons of other major awards for physics. The Franklin Institute called his Yang-Mills theory revolutionary for understanding fundamental forces in nature. He was respected and honored everywhere he went in the scientific community. What's amazing is that Yang stayed active in science until he was very old. He continued teaching, giving talks, and inspiring young scientists well into his hundreds of years. His mind stayed incredibly sharp even at 103 years old, which is remarkable. He lived a long, productive, and meaningful life doing what he loved most always. Not many people get to live over a century and stay active. He was truly blessed with a long life and a brilliant mind. News of his death has made people around the world very sad and reflective. Scientists everywhere are posting tributes and memories of him on social media today. In China especially, millions of people are mourning the loss of this national hero. Tsinghua University released a statement calling him one of the greatest physicists ever. They said he made revolutionary contributions to modern physics that changed everything forever. His passing marks the end of an era in physics and science history. Even though Professor Yang is gone, his work will live on forever in physics. Every physics textbook in the world teaches his theories to new students yearly. His discoveries will be studied for hundreds of years into the future ahead. More importantly, he inspired millions of Chinese people to pursue science and dream big. He showed that hard work and brilliance can overcome any obstacle or challenge. That's a lesson that goes way beyond physics equations and scientific papers published. Professor Yang Zhenning lived 103 incredible years full of achievement and contribution to humanity. From winning the Nobel Prize to bridging cultures, he accomplished so much in life. He changed physics forever and inspired countless people along the way throughout decades. The world has lost a true giant of science today, guys. But his spirit and work will continue inspiring future generations of scientists everywhere. Rest in peace, Professor Yang. Thank you for everything you gave to the world. Thank you all for listening to this tribute today. Professor Yang's life reminds us to dream big and work hard always. May his memory continue to inspire us all forever. See you next time, everyone.